The air in the Okafor household was thick with sorrow. Mama Ngozi's sudden death had left a void too deep to fill. The small modest home in the heart of Enugu felt colder, emptier, despite being filled with grieving relatives. Her four children, Chisom, the eldest at 16, Obi, 12, Amara, 9, and baby Kosi, clung to one another, their young minds unable to grasp the weight of their loss. Among the mourners was a woman none of them had seen in years, Auntie Ifeoma, dressed in an expensive lace blouse and a heavily tied wrapper. She arrived in a black SUV, her presence as commanding as ever. She had left the village long ago, chasing wealth in Lagos, and never looked back. Now she had returned, claiming it was her duty to care for her sister's children. Chisom watched her warily. She remembered the hushed conversations between Mama and Papa about Ifeoma's selfish ways, how she had cut ties with the family when they refused to support her extravagant lifestyle. But now, here she was, smiling and making promises. "My dear children," Ifeoma said, her voice dripping with sympathy, "I know this is hard, but I'm here for you. I will take care of you just like your mother would have wanted." The children had no other choice. Their father had died years ago, and there was no one else stepping up. The village elders agreed that Ifeoma, their only surviving aunt, should take responsibility. That night, as Ifeoma settled into Mama Ngozi's old room, she picked up her phone and made a call. "Yes, I'm here. 4 of them. It would be long." Unbeknownst to the children, their nightmare had only just begun. Auntie Ifeoma wasted no time in taking control of the household. Within days, she rearranged the furniture, threw out Mama Ngozi's old belongings, and imposed new rules. "Children must be obedient," she often said, her sharp eyes scanning them like a hawk watching its prey. At first, the children tried to adjust. Chisom took on the role of protector, making sure her younger siblings ate before Ifeoma did. But something felt wrong. Ifeoma rarely showed them affection, and she always seemed distracted, whispering into her phone at odd hours. Then one morning, Obi was gone. Chisom woke up to find his mat empty. His sandals were missing, but his favorite shirt still lay on the wooden bench. Panic shot through her as she shook Amara awake. "Where is Obi?" They searched everywhere, under the bed, behind the house, even in the neighbor's yard. Ifeoma, already dressed in a fine blue dress, looked at them with feigned concern. "Ha, Obi? He left early this morning," she said smoothly. "A good family in Onitsha is taking him in. They will sponsor his education." Chisom's stomach twisted. "He wouldn't leave without telling us." "Ndo, my dear," Ifeoma sighed, patting her head. "I know it's hard, but sometimes we must make sacrifices for a better life. I only want the best for all of you." Tears welled in Amara's eyes, but Ifeoma's sharp gaze silenced any protest. Chisom felt a deep unease settle in her bone. Something was very wrong. That night, as she lay awake, she heard Ifeoma's voice through the thin walls. "Yes, the first one is gone. I will prepare the next soon." Chisom's blood ran cold. The house felt hollow without Obi's laughter. His absence gnawed at Chisom like an open wound. She had barely slept, replaying Ifeoma's words in her mind. A good family in Onitsha? It didn't make sense. Obi would never leave them behind, not without saying goodbye. Amara sat quietly in a corner, clutching one of Obi's old shirts. She hadn't spoken much since the morning. Even little Kosi, who usually babbled non-stop, seemed unsettled. Ifeoma, however, carried on as if nothing had happened. She cooked their meals, scolded them for being ungrateful, and continued making mysterious phone calls. That evening, Chisom mustered the courage to confront her. "Auntie, can we talk to Obi?" Ifeoma, seated on Mama Ngozi's old chair, barely glanced up from her phone. "Talk to him? Ha, my dear. He is busy adjusting to his new home." But we didn't even get to say goodbye properly, Chisom pressed. Ifeoma's expression darkened. "Enough of this talk. I've told you he is fine. Or do you think I would harm my own nephew?" Her voice was sharp now, her eyes drifting into Chisom's. Chisom lowered her gaze, biting her tongue. She knew better than to argue, but the feeling in her chest only grew heavier. That night, while the house was silent, she crept to Ifeoma's door. It was slightly open. Inside, Ifeoma sat on the bed, speaking in hushed tones. "Two left. The girl next," she whispered. Chisom's heart nearly stopped. "The girl?" She turned to see Amara fast asleep beside Kosi. Fear gripped her. Ifeoma wasn't just sending them away. She was taking them one by one. And Amara was next. Chisom's mind raced. Ifeoma had already taken Obi, and now Amara was next. She had to act fast. But how? Ifeoma was always watching, always listening. The next morning, Chisom made a decision. She had to find out the truth about Obi. If Ifeoma had really sent him to Onitsha, someone in the village must know. After breakfast, she pulled Amara aside. "We have to leave," she whispered. Amara's eyes widened. "Leave? But where will we go?" "We will go to Mama Agnes. She was Mama's friend. Maybe she can help." But before they could sneak out, Ifeoma appeared in the doorway. "Where are you going?" Chisom forced a smile. "Just to fetch water." Ifeoma studied her for a moment before nodding. "Be quick." Chisom and Amara ran to Mama Agnes' house. The elderly woman gasped when she heard their story. "Obi never went to Onitsha," she whispered. "I heard Ifeoma talking to strange men in the market. She is selling children." Chisom felt sick. "We need to leave," she said. Mama Agnes nodded. "Come back tonight. I will help you." But when they returned home, Ifeoma was waiting. "Where have you been?" she demanded, eyes blazing. Chisom's throat went dry. She knows. That night, Chisom barely slept, gripping Amara's hand tightly. But at some point, exhaustion overtook her. She woke up to silence. Amara's mat was empty. Panic gripped her as she searched the house, but there was no sign of her sister. Ifeoma sat in the living room, sipping tea. "Where is Amara?" Chisom demanded. Ifeoma gave a long, slow smile. "She's gone to join Obi." Chisom's nail buckled. "No, you are lying." Ifeoma sighed. "Stop crying. You should be grateful. She's in a better place." Chisom ran outside, screaming for help, but the neighbors barely looked at her. No one wanted to challenge Ifeoma. She was alone. With Amara gone, Chisom felt trapped. Ifeoma watched her even more closely, never letting her out of her sight. She knew she had to act quickly before Kosi was taken too. Late at night, when Ifeoma was asleep, Chisom crept to the back of the house and found a small radio Mama had left behind. It had weak batteries, but it worked. She tuned to a local station and whispered, "Please, someone help us. My aunt is selling children." She didn't know if anyone would hear her, but it was her only hope. The next day, a man arrived in the village. He was tall, with kind eyes, and a police badge clipped to his belt. "I heard a girl's voice on the radio," he told Mama Agnes. "She said her aunt was selling children." Mama Agnes wasted no time. She told him everything. That evening, Chisom saw a figure watching from outside the house. A man in plain clothes. Help had arrived. The next morning, Ifeoma prepared to take Kosi away. "A weary couple in Abuja wants a baby," she murmured. But as she stepped outside with Kosi in her arms, a police van blocked her path. "Ifeoma Okafor, you are under arrest for child trafficking," the officer announced. Ifeoma's face turned to stone. What nonsense is this? Chisom stepped forward. "Where are Obi and Amara?" she demanded. Ifeoma glared at her, ungrateful child. But Chisom didn't care. She had won. Under police pressure, Ifeoma finally spoke. "I sold Obi to a trader in Lagos," she admitted coldly. "Amara was taken by a woman in Port Harcourt." Chisom felt her heart chatter. They were gone. But the officer shook his head. "Not yet. We will find them." The police tracked down the buyers, raiding hidden locations. After weeks of searching, they found Obi locked in a small dirty room in Lagos. He was thin but alive. Amara was harder to find, but eventually they located her in Port Harcourt. She was weak, frightened, but safe. Chisom cried when she saw them again. Ifeoma was sentenced to life in prison. "I did what I had to do," she spat in court. "You will regret this." But Chisom only held her siblings tightly. They had survived. With Ifeoma gone, Mama Agnes took them in. "You are safe now," she whispered. For the first time in a long time, Chisom believed her.